The sharp crack of his palm against my cheek echoed through the spotless kitchen like a gunshot. I staggered back, the sting radiating across my face. But I didn't cry out. My fingers stayed curled around the phone in my pocket, the voice memo app running silently, capturing every furious word Victor Langford hurled at me. "You ungrateful little brat," he snarled, his 6-foot frame towering over me. "I gave you everything. And this is how you repay me? Cleaning the counters properly for Chloe's party isn't too much to ask. My name is Sophia Bennett, 28 years old, financial data analyst at a mid-sized firm in suburban Chicago." The woman standing in that kitchen on that humid June afternoon had spent years swallowing her rage. But in that moment, something shifted. Victor thought he owned the room, the house, and everyone in it, including me, the stepdaughter he'd tolerated since I was 12. My mother, Laura, stood frozen in the doorway, her hands twisting a dish towel. "Victor, please," she whispered. Sophia came to help. "Help?" He laughed bitterly. "She's barely lifting a finger. Always the same half-done chores attitude. Chloe would have this place sparkling by now." Chloe, his biological daughter, 2 years younger than me, the golden child who never heard a harsh word. The contrast had defined my life since my mother married Victor Langford when I was 12. Back then, my mom was a struggling widow, working 2 jobs after my dad passed from a sudden heart attack. Victor seemed like salvation. Successful investor, owner of Langford Capital Group, charming at first glance, promising stability. The Holloway estate, no. The Langford mansion in Oak Brook, Illinois had manicured lawns, a pool, and a facade of perfection. Chloe got the sprawling bedroom with private bath. I was relegated to the remodeled basement room that felt damp in summer. Chloe's 16th birthday brought a sleek black BMW. Mine came with a lecture on fiscal responsibility and a used bike from Craigslist. Her college fund exceeded $2 million by the time she applied. Mine? Scholarships or bust. Builds character, Victor always said with that thin smile. Family dinners were minefields. Victor would beam at Chloe's B+ report cards. "You're a natural leader, sweetheart." My straight A's are nitpicking. Calculus could be better. Push harder. Mom would shrink in her seat, eyes down, whispering later, "Don't rock the boat, Sophia. We need this." I learned silence. I smiled at parties. I earned my finance degree while working 3 jobs. At 25, I moved to my modest apartment in Naperville, limiting visits to holidays. The resentment simmered, driving me to excel at work, to prove him wrong. That June Saturday, Mom's desperate call pulled me back. "Chloe's 25th birthday party needs help. Please, honey." I arrived to chaos. Planning boards, sample menus. Victor barked orders from his leather chair. When I pushed back on being treated like staff, his temper exploded. "You think your little analyst job makes you special?" He grabbed my arm. "You're still that charity case I took in for your mother's sake." I yanked free. "Let go." The slap followed. "Respect in my house." My mother gasped. I stood there, cheek burning, recording every threat, every insult about my worthless father, every boast about business dealings too complex for someone like me. "You'd never understand offshore structures," he ranted. "Cayman accounts keep things clean." That slip hit like lightning. Langford Capital focused on Midwest real estate and investments, publicly clean. Why mention Caymans? I left without finishing chores. In my car, the recording played back. 17 minutes of evidence. I backed it up immediately. Cloud, USB, email to a secure account. That night, I met my friend Rachel, a corporate lawyer. We listened together. Her face hardened. Assault,
Clear.
But that offshore comment? That's a thread. If he's hiding money, this could unravel everything. I nodded. Victor thought he'd won. He had no idea the overlooked stepdaughter had just started keeping score for real. The weeks after the slap became a masterclass in deception. I texted Victor an apology that stroked his ego. I was wrong. You've provided so much. Let me make it up. He replied swiftly. Accepted. Return Saturday. Prove you're useful. I arrived with pastries from his favorite bakery. Head lowered. Compliant. Inside. Rage burned. But strategy guided me. Rachel's team quietly investigated Langford Capital subsidiaries, names like LCG Holdings and Midwest Equity Partners. Surface level clean. But red flags emerged. No bid government contracts. Inflated project costs. Meanwhile, I played the role. Third visit. Victor left for golf, leaving me cleaning his office. His computer was encrypted, but a forgotten USB drive labeled Personal Archive sat in an unlocked drawer. I copied it all. Wire transfers to Cayman, Panama, Switzerland, shell companies flipping properties at suspicious losses, a $38 million infrastructure contract where nearly $11 million vanished into consulting fees. The gem, an audio file of Victor telling an associate named Marcus how auditors were handled, and Peterson in compliance was on payroll. I copied everything over 3 tense hours, then resumed scrubbing floors when he returned, drunk and triumphant. Finally learning your place, he sneered. I smiled up at him. Absolutely right. Victor. Exactly where I need to be. The next months tested everything. I upgraded recording gear, a discreet watch, hidden pen camera. Family dinners became data collection. Victor, basking in my submission, loosened his tongue. Over scotch. He bragged to associates about routing funds internationally to optimize taxes. His lawyer chuckled warnings about ears on walls. Victor waved it off. My family knows better than to talk. Rachel's forensic accountants traced at least $11 million embezzled over 5 years. RICO-level racketeering. Laundering.
Fraud.
I waited, gathering more. An IRS audit stress made Victor sloppy one November day. Hiding behind his office door, I filmed him ordering transfers of $9.8 million to Singapore Holdings. Do it tonight before they dig deeper. We had enough for 10 convictions, but I wanted his arrogance to seal his fate. Thanksgiving became the stage. The table groaned under excess. Victor presided. Chloe and her fiancé, a congressman's aide, at his side. Mom fussed over turkey. I sat peripheral, passing dishes silently. Victor toasted. To family, success, and Chloe's new VP role at Langford Capital. Applause. Eyes turned to me with subtle disdain. I rose. My toast to truth, justice, and good records. Silence fell. I connected my phone to speakers. Victor's voice boomed. The slap, threats, offshore boasts. Gasps rippled. Victor's face drained of color. Turn it off. He lunged. I scattered documents, transfers, spreadsheets, transcripts. $11 million to Singapore last month. Victor? Account details match. Chloe whispered.
Dad.
He denied frantically. I displayed the shadow accounting on the TV. 4 months documenting everything. FBI notified. IRS tomorrow. SEC Monday. Victor collapsed. Mom cried. Chloe sobbed accusations at me. I left the documents amid the feast. You taught me my place. Victor. It wasn't beneath you. The collapse was swift and merciless. By Monday, news exploded. Langford Capital CEO faces federal probe in massive fraud scheme. Stock plunged 52% by midday. Trading halted. FBI raids captured on camera. Boxes of files carried out as employees watched in horror. One shouted at arriving Victor, "You ruined us." Coffee stained his suit in the iconic photo. Board suspended him. SEC charged 7 counts: securities fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, racketeering. IRS probed $38 million questionable deals. Illinois AG targeted contract fraud. Senator connections distanced rapidly. Chloe's engagement postponed. Employees suffered layoffs, lost pensions. I quietly funded transition aid anonymously. Victor's lawyer offered deals, lesser charges for dropping evidence, even $6 million payoff. I refused. I don't bargain with criminals. 3 partners arrested. Company delisted. Value cratered from $420 million peak to under $60 million. Forensic accountants uncovered pension fund theft, elevating charges. Victor faced 25 years. In the ashes, opportunity emerged. Rachel proposed acquiring the remnants legally via ethical investors. Turn greed into good, sustainable tech. Green infrastructure. The court trustee approved a fire sale. With green funds backing, I invested personal capital 401k. Loans for managing partnership. Full transparency about my role satisfied the judge. Poetic justice. Acquisition announced 1 year post-recording. Media frenzy. Whistleblower rebuilds stepfather's fallen empire. My first day as managing partner felt surreal. Security greeted Bennett respectfully. Victor's portrait removed. All hands meeting. 180 remaining staff eyed me warily. I know many resent me, I said. But you were victims too. Victor stole from your pensions. We're renaming Horizon Renewables. Profit sharing. Transparency. Pivot to solar. Clean water. Ethical investments. Applause grew. Most stayed. Chloe appeared begging for work. Apply entry level like everyone. Earn it. She never did. Victor's cease and desist failed. Evidence was legitimate or public. 1 year later, Horizon Renewables thrived. 17 renewable projects funded. 350+ jobs created. Presidential commendation for social impact. The trial verdict: guilty on all counts. Victor received 25 years. No parole for 15. Mugshot everywhere, broken man. Mom reached out after months. Divorce finalized. She lived simply with family, working honestly. I enabled him. Sorry for shrinking you. Therapy helped me see. We spoke cautiously.
Réconciliation tentative.
But real. In Victor's old office, now open collaborative space, I reflected. The view over Chicago once symbolized denial. Now it represented earned power. A text from prison visitor request deleted. Chloe changed her name. Worked nonprofit in another city. Rock bottom taught her resilience. The recovered funds. Whistleblower reward, 15% of seized assets. And rebuilt value hit exactly $42 million, symbolic transformation. Real wealth. Thank you notes from schools powered by our solar. Veterans employed. Families housed sustainably. Standing in the renovated space. I spoke to the empty room. You were wrong, Victor. I was never nothing. I waited for the moment to prove what real power looks like. Lifting others, not crushing them. My reflection showed a confident woman, CEO. Free. Principled. Reporters still called. I let them wait. The legacy wasn't headlines but lives improved. Victor replayed his fall in prison. I built what he couldn't. Ethical success. The girl dismissed as worthless became the force correcting his mistakes. Power recognized. Documented. Wielded responsibly. Business can profit and be principled. Family isn't blood, it's respect. Justice serves cold. Sometimes on Thanksgiving. But redemption rebuilds. What would you have done? The question lingers. Silence can be strategy. Evidence can be justice. And from ruins, something better can rise. The empire of lies became foundation for truth. The stolen fortune now served communities. The overlooked stepdaughter defined worth for hundreds. Proving real strength lifts everyone.